exception handling mechanism, already we have said that 5 keyword, okay, so which we have seen. Then try block, how to create the try block, already I have said that. So any error which is any exception which is going to be available, then in that you are going to define the try block. So that is the exception which going to be occurred, that will be into the try block. So you have to define the method in that, okay. So what is the syntax? Try and try opening brace, then closing brace, catch, then exception class name and reference variable, then again opening brace, closing brace. Because guys, any try block definitely will be having one catch block. So one try and catch should be there. Catch, multiple catch, even you can use multiple try also you can use, but at least if you are using try, then definitely the catch block should be there, okay. So or you can use finally. So anyone, because finally also can be given, anyone it should be there, okay. So Java catch block, already I have mentioned you that it is used to handle the exception and it will be used after the try block, and you can define multiple catch block in a single try. So already example we have seen, right? We were seeing about this example, right? So let's come to the example. Guys, able to see the program? Okay. So what I have done, I have written a program, okay. So you can see that I'm just writing, okay. First we'll go with the basic program, okay. So where you are going to use try and catch block, okay. So here I'll just create one new, what happened, it's got deleted, 1 minute. Okay, so in the source, so what we are going to see now, how to create the try and catch, that is the exception handling program. So what you have to do guys, first, as you know very well that you have to create a file. So in the source directory I will create exception.java. So first letter we have to give, better we'll write as a okay, except.java, okay. Now what you have to do, so first of all we have to declare the class. You all very well know about this, we should use the class. So I'll write the class, then class name. So class name already I have given, that is the except dot, sorry, this is the class name, okay. Then opening brace and closing brace. The moment you will give that, there is no error. Then what we have to do, we have to define main method. So I'll write the main method, static void main okay. So main method we have written. So what we are going to do, so as we have specified, whenever you are going to create the exception handling program, so we are just going to print the number is like division by 0. So we need a 2 variable, so we'll create 2 variable int a and b, okay. Now what we have to do, so the logic is here in any program, especially in Java, when you are going to write the exception handling. So wherever you have the methods, like that means operation, what operation you are going to perform, okay, what logic you are going to implement, that you should put into the try block. So what is our logic here? We are going to write the program division by 0. Okay, so we should get to know that yes, the program is giving the exception, that is the division by 0. So what you are going to do, we have to create a try block. Okay, again opening brace and closing brace. So when you write the try block, then what you are going to write in the try block? So we are going to write a program for division of 2 number. Okay, but that is the division by 0. So what I'll do, I will define d is equal to 0. You can directly even you can write int a is equal to 2 by 0 also, whatever you want. So now what I'll do, I'll write a is equal to 40 division by 2. Sorry, it is d. Okay, so when you write d, that means it is division by 0. Now what you have to do, we need to print the a. What is that a value? Okay, so what I'll do, I'll write system.out.println. Okay, and in that we are going to print the statement. So you write anything. Okay, I will write a is equal to, so we should get the value of a. Okay, so generally when we do the mistake, so how it is going to get the error, we should know that. Okay, this is b we have written, sorry, we have defined as a b. Okay, and this is the printing. So this your try block is over. So you can see there is still error is showing. Why error is showing? Because see that if you put the cursor over there, it is clearly say the syntax error, insert finally to complete try statement. So either you have to use finally block or either you can use try catch block. So I'll use here as a catch block. So catch. So just now I mentioned that what is the syntax for catch. So you have to give here exception handling class name. So this comes into the arithmetic exception handling. Okay, that is the arithmetic exception. So you should write matic, a will be caps, again exception. Okay, and reference parameter, you can give any reference parameter. Okay, again opening and closing brace. So now we have to print some statement. So I'll give the print statement. So in this print statement, I'll write division by 0. Okay, so that's all from the program. If you want to write further anything, even you can define something like that. Okay, so this is after catch statement. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we have to run this program. So similar way, right click, run as Java application. Okay, so when you run it, you can see the output what you are getting, division by 0, and after catch block we are not getting the output this. Why we have not received output? Because we have an exception here. So that is number is division by 0. So when exception will occur, okay, so when exception will occur in try block will throw that error. So it should be thrown. So now what happened? The error is here, that is exception is here, it will be thrown. So this line only it will get thrown. So when it will thrown, there will be the catch statement. So what is the catch statement? The catch block will catch that exception. So it will catch, okay, exception is arithmetic exception, that is the division by 0. So that's why we are getting the division by 0. So once the statement of division by 0 is printed, this is into the outside of the your try catch. So it is printing after catch statement. So if you take a look in any program, if you write any Java program, this way you have to follow for try and catch block. Similarly, I have written another program, that is your another. Okay, So what I have done here, I am going to use as a command line argument. Okay, so I have given the arguments. Okay, in integer a, I am calculating the argument length. Okay, and printing the what is the length of that argument. Okay, and next time I am just using the int b is equal to 45 by a. So whatever the a value, that a value will be divided by 45, some number. Then what I have done, we have created an array. In that we have already stored one value. Okay, initialized. Now what I am doing, at C42 we are doing 99. Okay, so this is your try block. So what happened now, we can use multiple catch block. So how we can use? So we know that might be it will be occur division by 0. If argument length is 0, it can be division by 0. Array index bound, that also may be possible. So I'll write one catch block. Similar arithmetic exception handling. Okay, exception E division by 0, and you will use plus E. So exception, what exception is there, it will be printed. Next catch block, array index out of bond. Okay, exception, and again reference parameter. Again you print the statement and use the reference parameter. Similar way after catch block. Now if I execute this program, what will be the output? So this is command line argument. Okay, so see, when I executed first time, what happened? The a is 0, because what happened? There is no value, right? So when a is 0, argument length is 0, then obviously it will, exception will occur here. That is the arithmetic exception handling. So that's why the number is coming division by 0. So we have not got any error into, because array size, you can see here, for array we have not specified this is 10 or 40 or 100. Okay, so when this array is added, the value is initialized into this array. So that's why we are not getting the error for this. Okay, if we'll divide, if we'll write here 30, now save it. Okay, now let's compile and see what error we are going to get. Okay, so first let it be this. What I'll do, see now command line argument. Have you executed the command line argument program using Eclipse? Because command line argument, we know very well that we should give the input during compile time. Okay, that means when you are going to execute, when you are going to give the command for executing the Java program, that means runtime, you are going to give the input. So we have not given, that's why it is coming A0. So how to execute those programs using Eclipse? So what you have to do, just similar way, right click. When you are getting run as option, you can see here something called as run configuration. You click on that. Okay, so when you click on that, what program you are going to run? See that you have to select this. That is, our program is try catch. Where it is that? Okay, so this is try catch 2 program. Okay, so what I'll do, you have to go to accept argument. Okay, so in argument, what I'll do, I'll give 10 or you give 5. Okay, now after that you have to give apply. Okay, and then run. See what happened now? So we got the argument length, that is the, we have given 5, right? So 45 divided by 5. Sorry, okay, argument length we have given. How many argument length was there? How many argument length we have given? Only one argument length, right? So argument length is 1, and that's why it is printing 1. Now, so if you do this, int b is equal to 45 by a. So you have now a value as a 1, 45 by 1 you will get, but now you will get the error for array. Okay, so that is your array index out of bound error. Okay, so this is from exception handling. Okay, so let's see that next. Okay, so this is the example we have executed. Okay, so what about multiple catch block? Just now we have executed also multiple catch block, even you can define. Okay, rules for while using your catch block. So at the time of one exception is occurred and a time only one catch block is executed. So what happened just now? You will ask the question, you have not said about that when we have both error, that is the array index of bound and division by 0, why not both is executing? So it will execute at the time of a one exception, only one catch block will be executed, not multiple. Next, all catch block must be ordered from most specific to most general. So you have to keep the exception, that is your catch block, in most specific to most general. Okay, so that is, what is the meaning of that? That means the catch block for arithmetic exception must come before catch for any exception. So if you are using any other exception, first it will come arithmetic exception, then after you are going to use any other catch block for the exception. So as per previous example we have seen. Okay, so now example, so same. Okay, so just try block, you are just using the division by 0. Okay, so catch exception E. Okay, then after I am giving the arithmetic exception, and then after I am giving the third, that is the array index out of bound. Okay, so like this way. So what will I have output? Output is compiler error. Why? Because just now rule says that the exception first, it should be your before exception. This is the exception, that is the first catch, exception catch. Okay, this should be after the in arithmetic exception only. It should be not before that. If you are defining before that, you will get the error. Okay, next. Okay, so what is happening actually when you get the exception? So you are giving a data, right? So any number which is you are dividing by 0. Okay, so when you are dividing by 0, so what will happen? The object of exception class is thrown. What I said, when exception is there, it will be thrown. So when it will thrown, it will go to the exception object and it will check that is it that exception can be handled, yes or no. If yes, that means the rest of code executed. If no, that means Java will print out the exception description, the stack trace and terminate the program. That means it will check the entire program can be handled or not. So that's how your exception handling works. Okay, so now about the nested try block. So as I mentioned that you can use multiple, that means nested try block, as you have studied through the nested if else, same way you can use nested try block also. So try block within the try block is known as your nested try block. Okay, so why we use the nested try block in Java? So what will happen, in somewhere you will get, sometimes you will be getting some situation where your part of block may be caused error and entire block itself may cause another error. So that means you will be having two different types of errors occurred in the your same program. So what happened? For that purpose, you have to use nested try block. So that is the meaning. So if may cause another error, in such case exception handling have to be nested. So you will be having a program where one block causing one error, another block causing another error. So that situation need to be handled only using your nested try block. Okay, so what will be the syntax for nested try? So you have to use try. So whatever the statement you want to give it. Then again try block, you can give a statement 1 again if you want. So again you can give one another try. If you want, again you can give. So I have finished the statement, that is the first try block. So what happened? Syntax says that every try block must contain one catch block also. So after this try, there will be the catch. So I am writing the catch block exception E. Okay, some statement will be there. Now once you close this, so again you will be having the catch block for the main try, the first try block. So it's not like that you will be defining one try here, at the last you are giving only one catch outside. No, because try block, whenever it will be there, it will be with try and catch, or finally will be there. So this is the syntax for your nested try block. Okay, so finally block. What is the finally block and how we are going to use in Java? Okay, so it is used to execute important code such as closing connection. So what is the connection? So when you write some connection program, okay, one file handling, you are connecting one file to another file. So such place that you have to use the finally block. Okay, so it's always executed whether exception is handled or not. Okay, then Java finally blocks follows try or catch block, as I mentioned. So try block will be there and or catch block will be there. Then after finally you are going to use. Okay, so examples where your exception does not occurs. Okay, so same program, just use any class name. Okay, I am using. So I will just define data, that is 25 by 5. Okay, then you are printing that data. Okay, now you are writing the catch block null pointer exception. So might be there will be null value. Okay, so then after you have to give the finally. What is the finally? Finally block is always executed. So if you execute this, definitely you will be getting the output of your finally block. Remember guys, if you are using finally block, definitely your finally block will be executed in your program, that is sure. Okay, so just write any printing statement in finally block. Okay, so and then after just whatever the code you want to write, similar way. Okay, so output you are going to get 5 here. Okay, so let's try this. What you are going to get the output? See here, so exception is not there. So what happened? You are getting the output because we have 25 by 5. We are getting the result. So no arithmetic exception, no null pointer exception. But we have used finally. In finally, what is that? Finally block is executed. So whenever you use finally block in any exception handling, okay, you are using try, catch and finally. So whatever the output of the program is there, that will be executed, plus what you have defined in finally, that also will be declared. That will be also defined. So that's what it is happening here. So same program, let's see that what is will happen here. Okay, so same program, what I'll do, we are getting the error also, I will add here. So how to use the finally? Similar way you are going to give the finally statement. Okay, okay, so I'm just going to printing a statement. Okay, this is finally block. So why we are getting the error? Finally, okay, sorry guys, so I have used this before that. Sorry. Okay, so I have to use here. Okay, so save it. Okay, now run the program. You can see here array is equal to 1. Okay, then you are getting this error. See, you are getting this is finally block. So when you are executing, even you can check with this program. Okay, here I'll use as a one input as a b is equal to 2. Okay, and we have given printing statement. I'll give here finally. Okay, so in finally you are not going to write any exception. Okay, class name. So just you are going to define. So finally I'll just print a statement here. This is finally block. Okay, save your program and run as your Java application. You can see that we are getting, because we got the output, that is the 40 divided by 2, that is 20. Then because there is no exception, output we got it from here try block, and then it will directly jump to the finally block. So when no exception is there, it will jump to that connection, that is your finally block, and it will print this statement. So that is the use of finally block. Okay, so exception occur and not handle, what will happen in that? So just you write the same way any class. Okay, so you are writing the division by 0, you are printing the statement. Okay, catch null pointer finally block. Okay, so you can see here this is the division by 0 program, but I have not used here any arithmetic exception handling. So what will happen in this case? Okay, so what will happen in this case? When you are not defining, that means when your exception occurred and when you throw the error. So exception is here, so obviously this line it is not going to print, so it will be thrown. So when it will thrown, it will check catch block, the exception is accordingly means handled or not. If it is not, definitely there will be some finally block. So whatever the statement in the finally block is there, that is the finally block is always executed. So it will execute your finally block statement. Remember these things. So if you take a look, your lab program also might be they have used there in finally block. So you will get to know that. So definitely finally block will be executing in the program. Okay. So after this exception in thread main Java, it will give you that. Okay. So exception occurs, that means exception is there, and handle. So in previous what happened, we have not handled that. Okay, let's execute this program also and we'll see what is going to be happen. Okay, so again if I copy this program, again we'll get the error. So because there is a space and tab, that's why. So you can create again another source. Okay, create new file. I'll give test try 1.java. Okay, so just when you paste, you will get so many error. So first we have to change here test try 1. Okay, so you can see here once I remove the space, one by one the error will be keep getting. So here again between this you have to give it. So now, so see that. Okay, I'll make it this. So better we can write this also. So what you are going to do, you can just divide, use the division. Okay, and then you are going to just print the statement like that way you will do. So we can write also, it will take time to get corrected. So better what I'll do, I'll write it. So let's delete everything. Okay. Okay. So now what is that? We have to use that the statement that is your main method. So I'll write that public. Same way, your main method, how you write main okay. So main method completed. Now what you are going to do? We are going to divide the number. Okay, any number division by 0. Okay, so I'll write as a int data is equal to 50 or any value you give it, 50 division by 0. Okay, now we have to print this. So what is the value of that? We have to print. So we can write directly also, that is your data. Okay, so this is the finish. But what we have to do? We have not used this again in try block. So again the problem will be there. So we have to use try block here. So try. Okay, in this you are going to define, when you give the try block, that means definitely there should be a catch block. So I'll define a catch. Okay, so what is that? We are just going to use exception class, exception E. Okay, then I'll use here some printing statement. Okay, so you print anything. Okay, so here it is, we are going to use actually first null pointer exception, guys. So first you use null pointer exception. Okay, so here you are going to print the statement. So what you are going to print? Just E we are going to, that is the reference parameter. So this is the catch block. Now what I'll do? I'll use the finally block. So in finally block, what we have to do? Again printing a statement. Okay, so what you are going to print here? You can print whatever you want. Finally block. Okay, we have missed the inverted comma. Okay, so if you want to give after this also something, printing a statement, you can give also. Rest of program. Okay, save it. Okay, now what you have to do? We will execute this program. So run as Java application. So what happened? You can see here, we are getting the finally block because we have given the finally block in the program. We have not specified the arithmetic exception handling, but it will give you the, that is the error, that is the exception in thread java.lang.arithmetic exception division by 0. So at line number 9 you will be having the exception. So we have not defined the catch, that is the, it is not handled. Okay, we have the exception but not handled. So this is the one example what we were saying. So same way, that is another situation, exception occurs but you are going to handle that. So okay, so same program, I will write arithmetic exception. Okay, then so similar way if you do that, same way you will get the exception division by 0 and finally block will be also executed. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, so same program, what I'll do after this, I will give one more catch block. Okay, what is the catch block? Arithmetic exception E. Okay, and I'll give the printing statement. Division by 0. Save it. Now let's execute this program. So you can see that we got the exception handling, it is handled. You are getting the finally block also and rest of your program. So like this way you have two different situations. One is not handled and exception is handled. Throw keyword. So we have seen that try we have seen, catch we have seen, finally we have seen. Now we have the keyword as a throw. Okay, so throw keyword is actually used to explicitly throw an exception. So you know that you have seen that explicitly and implicitly. So here whenever your exception is occurred, so what happened? It will use explicitly to throw the exception. Okay, so what is the syntax for throw keyword in Java? So you are going to use throw and exception, and after that you have to give semicolon. So this is in Java, this throw keyword is predefined, which was not there in your C programming. Okay, so what is the example? So we'll write like this: throw new. Okay, so you can see here I am writing throw new. Okay, so what is the exception? Exception is your arithmetic exception. So in bracket you are going to directly give division by 0. That is the use of your using throw keyword. So let's see the example. So what we are going to give the example? Write a class, in that you are going to create a static method, that is the validate. Okay, and you are going to use if else condition. So if age is less than 18, that means it will throw an exception that is not valid. Otherwise what will happen? Welcome to vote, right? So generally as per the Indian regulation, we have that, okay, if your age is above 18 then only you can vote, otherwise you cannot. Okay, so but exception is also there. So same way here, exception. Okay, so come to the main method. So this one method has been created. Okay, now I am creating the main method, and main method what you are going to do? You are going to pass the argument. So I am passing the argument as a 13. So what will happen? Now age will refer as a 13. So what is that? Age is less than, so it will give you the exception as a not valid. So what happening here? This is called as your explicitly exception. So it is going to handle the exception using explicitly. So when the error is thrown, explicitly handle using throw keyword. Okay, so remaining like same, you can execute the program and you can see that. So you will get the output like exception in thread main, and it will show you that it is not valid like this. Okay, so next keyword we have used throws. Okay, so what is the use of this throws keyword? So used to declare an exception. So if you are using throws, that means you are going to declare. When you are going to use throw, that means you are going to use to explicitly handle the exception. But using throws, you are going to declare an exception, and it will use to handle the checked exception. So what is the checked exception? Already I have said right, a checked exception are those which occurs during compile time. Okay, so what is the syntax for throws? So you have to define the return type. Okay, then you are going to give the method name, and you are going to use throws keyword. Okay, then you will use exception class name and opening parenthesis. you will define the method, whatever the method code you want to write, you can write it, then close it. So this is the syntax. Okay, so let's see some example. So you can see here example, you're directly writing even class m. So what is the syntax is that? Return type. So I'm writing return type as a void. One method name, I'm writing method name as a method. Okay, we are using the throws keyword. Exception class name, so I'm using exception class name as IOException. So what in the method body we are going to write? Throw. That means it will throw the, what is the exception? Device error, input output device error. Come to main method, similar way. Okay, use the try block, create the object, call the method, and use the exception handling. So what happens when you execute the program, you will get the error like device error. Okay, so here what will happen, because here we have used exception handling. Okay, so in method we have already handled. So what happened? Error, what we are going to get here? Error, because no error is there, because you have handled the exception here using throw keywords. So throw, as per the definition, throws is used to define an exception. So we have defined the exception. That means exception is handled. So that's why it will print here exception handle and your normal flow of program. So if it is not, then it will give the exception will be occurred here. Okay, so now a program, if exception does not occur, so similar way you just write, okay, class method same, you can see, I'm writing the same program. Here I am writing device operation performed. Okay, go to the create the main method, create the object, call the method. Okay, so you can see here what we are doing in the main method. Public static void main string arguments throws IOException. That means you are declaring the exception here. Okay, and normal flow and exit. So what will happen when execute the program? What will happen? It will here exception does not occur. So what happen? It will take the device operation not perform, because you are using into the main method only. So it will take the exception, that is exception is declared here. So it will take this from this and it will given the print device operation performed, and then it will come to the normal. So method has been called. So what method you are calling, that has been displayed, and your normal flow of the program, that is also displayed. Okay, so another situation where your exception occurs. Okay, program, if exception occur, what happens? Same program. Okay, so I am giving device error. Okay, so another class main method, again use the class declare exception. Okay, and create the object, call the method. Okay, normal flow, close the class. Okay, so what will happen when you execute this program? So what will happen? You are going to get the output as a exception in thread, that is IOXS device error. So you are going to get this device error because here exception is getting occurred. Okay, so this is another situation. Now difference between your throw and throws. What is the difference? So when you take a look at throw and throws, so what is the throws? Java throw keyword is used for explicitly throw an exception, but throws keyword is used to declare an exception. That is the first one. Second one, the throw, that is the checked exception, cannot be propagated using throw only. So during compile time, if you are using throw, it cannot propagate it. But using this, that is throw keyword, the checked exception can be propagated and it can be thrown. Throw keyword is followed by an instance, but throws keyword is followed by class. So you have seen that we are using exception class. That's why. Throws is used within the method. You have seen that you are using throw within the method, but throws is used with method signature. Okay, and you cannot throw multiple exception. That means using throw, you can declare multiple exception, like we have seen, right? Public void method throws IO exception. So if you want to use SQL exception, even you can write SQL exception. So as many you want exception to be declared, okay, so you can use it with help of your throws keyword. So these are the difference between throw and throws. Okay, so next about final, finally, finalize also is there. So what is the final? Already you have used, right? So final keyword is used to apply restriction on class, okay, method and variable. Final class cannot be inherited. Final method cannot be overridden. Final variable cannot be changed. Already we have seen about the final. Now finally, so when you use finally to use to declare, so the important code, it will use to declare the important code and it will be executed when the exception is handled or not. We have used finalize also. So finalize is used to perform the cleanup process, like for garbage collection. If you remember, in exception handling, suppose the memory you want to delete, automatically the memory should be deleted. Generally in Java it has been mechanism is there which will be delete the garbage, but if you still want, you can use the finalize keyword. So using that the memory will be cleaned up. So what happened? Final is the keyword. Hope you remember. So finally, what is the finally? Because we are using in block, okay, so this is a block. And what is the finalize? If you remember, finalize is the method to clean up the process. So this is the difference between final, finally and finalize. Okay, so you can create even your own exception. So user defined exception must be extended, okay, from your exception class. You can override toString method to display your exception message. Okay, so how it is there? So let's see that. So what you are going to do? You are going to write your own class, your created class. So what we have to do? We have to use throws exception. That is, you are throws. We are declaring the exception here. So I am defining the int price is equal to -120. So if price is less than 0, so already you have declared the exception. So what happened? You are writing this is your my own exception class. So previously you have remember we were used to declare the exception class name. So we have the mechanism in Java programming where you can define your own exception class also. Okay, so like this you can do that. Okay, so what happened once this is done? Okay, so what you are going to do now? So public class my own exception class. Okay, so whatever the exception class you have to create, you are going to define that. So you are going to use extend keyword and exception class. Now you are declaring the price value as a private. Now create a method that is the constructor my own exception class. Okay, use the reference this using this keyword. Then create the method. Just now we have seen, right, using toString we can create our own exception. So we have used here toString. That means price should not be negative. You entered price. What is the price value you have entered? The exception will handle. So generally you know that, right? In take example, you have a manual system on the computer where you have to calculate the price. Okay, so while calculating, what happened? You have given the item price as a negative value. So what happened? The system should give the alert. So this is not predefined, right? It is we are doing that, okay, -100. Okay, the price value we are giving. Okay, so when that situation occurs, how you are going to define exception? So you can use your own exception class also in Java. You have to use the toString, okay, to define your own exception. Okay, so when you run, now obviously it will give you the output like exception in thread main price should not be negative, because we have defined the exception, we have declared the exception, and we are handling the exception also using toString. So you can see that negative you have entered -120. Okay, so chained exception in Java. So what is the chained exception? That means chained exception allowed to relate one exception with another. So you have one exception, you want to connect another exception, you can do that also in Java. Okay, so that is one exception describe cause of another. So due to one exception, that is the one error, it's causing for the others also. Okay, so how to allow the chained exception in Java? So when you see that, so what happened? You are going to use a throwable keyword here. You can see here throwable keyword, right? So to allow this chained exception in Java, two constructor and two method were added to throwable. So constructor and methods, two constructor, two method will be added into throwable. Okay, the constructor are shown. So how the constructor will be? Like you are going to use throwable, then again throwable, that is the constructor, and cause exception. So what is the exception causing? You have to define. Second, I said that constructor. Next is constructor methods. So you can see here construct, that is the constructor you have, method you are creating. You are passing the constructor only into the constructor, okay, into method. So string, message, throwable, cause exception. Okay, so this way you can create the chained exception. Okay, so this method will get clause, int cause. Okay, so you can use with help of your throwable. Okay, so like throwable get cause, throwable int cause. Okay, you can use like this. So what are the method for get cause when you are going to return the exception? Okay, so you can use, it is associated with the int cause and cause exception. It will invoke your exception and it will return the reference exception. Okay, so if you take a look on this program, we have defined the null pointer, that is the, we are just defining, okay, one method. Okay, in that you are defining one exception. Okay, then your cause, what cause is going to happen? So e dot init, okay, cause, new arithmetic cause. Okay, throw the e, that means you are going to throw the exception. Come to the main method, call the method, okay, and you print the statement, that is exception caught and origin, what is the original cause of your exception. So you can write like this way. These are used in actually dynamic programming to find out due to what we are getting the exception, because every time defining catch, arithmetic exception, array index, bound of exception might be we don't know. So when you exception is caused in one, due to that another also is happening, we want to handle those, then you can handle this way only. Okay, so you will be getting the output like this. So Java caught, that is the null pointer exception, top layer, origin, what is the origin cause? So origin cause is due to the arithmetic exception we are getting the error. So you can find out the where your cause, that is exception, is initiated and where you have caught the exception. So you can define like this way also. Okay, so similar way you have the second program. Okay, so like this, there are so many programs. So whatever the program you have studied, the basic program, okay, Java, you can convert those programs using your exception handling. Try to write your own exception handling mechanism.